Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Sherrill Stillman, and it's good to have you back. This is our fourth video with Mr. Quantum himself, John Scevola, and we're going to be talking today about the protocol for using your wand. I know there are lots of questions about how to use it, when to use it, how much, and we're going to address all of those issues on this video today. So first of all, let me say hi and welcome John to this wonderful conversation we're having.
Thank you.
We've had such great response from the previous videos we've done, John. You've done such a good job helping people to really understand the technology, appreciate the technology, and the various technologies that have been incorporated into the iTeraCare wand. And that's why this video is so important, because we're really going to support people by giving them much more understanding on how best to use the wand to get results for themselves and other people they're working with. And, I want to start today with the story you just told me. So before we started recording, you had another amazing experience of healing. And why don't you just share that? Because it's a great way to begin this conversation. Then we can go into talking about the recommended protocol and then all the other considerations.
Thank you. The story you're talking about happened last night. I was working on my computer and at my computer. Started feeling a toothache coming on, and the pain just increased to about an 8 or a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. I was not feeling good about that experience, and I looked over and I thought, oh, let's try the iTeraCare again. All right, to the rescue. So I started winding my mouth area here. I was doing that, and while I'm reading a story on my computer, right? So I'm reading because I read constantly. I'm just an addicted reader. So I'm reading my story and winding my mouth for about 15 minutes. And pain drops like from 9 all the way down to a 2. I'm thinking, this is what I'm talking about right here, right? And and then today I woke up and there's no pain, it's gone. But I'm still going to do another 15-20 minutes for the next couple of days just to make sure that that's gone. And you did bring up a great point a little earlier when we were talking about this. Why don't you bring that up about what might be correlated to that?
Yeah, I think many people don't realize that there actually is a chart you can get. If you do a search, a Google search, you can get a chart of your teeth and every organ that your tooth is associated with. So your teeth actually each tooth has a direct connection to specific organs in your body. And what I was reminding John to look at what the tooth that was bothering him, what it might be connected to as far as an organ, because sometimes the tooth is referring a pain from a dysfunction of some sort going on with that organ. Could be your kidneys, could be your liver, could be your spleen, whatever it may be. And it's just an interesting point. So then if you follow with that chart what that organ may be, if you're having an issue with your tooth, then you would wand that area as well. You would give attention to that organ as well as the local point where it's manifesting a problem.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting through this call so I can look that up and do some further applications here. That's great information. So often the various aches and discomforts that go on in our bodies are symptomatic of something else, and most people just focus on that. They want to get rid of that situation, and yet it's like you're saying, it's a signal. It's referring to some other issue that's maybe out of balance or blocked or whatever, and that's the real thing you need to get sorted out. And that's part of the wonder of the magic wand, is that it can address the symptom, but also get deeper into the source of these things that need to be balanced.
And I encourage people who are using their wand, and some people may have really no prior experience of understanding the body and all these connections and what's related to what. But it's a perfect opportunity to learn and to investigate, and there's so much information readily available. You know, as an example, often we have shoulder pain, like between our shoulder blades. There's an achiness. Or sometimes we think it's a stiff neck and it hurts, but it could be a gallbladder issue. Actually, it could be a referral from a gallbladder, as an example. So having that information, which people can look up, and then they work on their gallbladder with the wand, then you're getting to the source of the problem. So you're doing profound healing and bringing greater balance to the body when you do that.
Of course, we always refer to the disclaimers that this device doesn't cure anything. It's not a medical device, but it stimulates and empowers the body to self-heal. And so it enhances the stimulation of certain energy centers in our body. And we're going to talk about a couple of protocols here that it also does a wonderful job of enhancing, that have fantastic results in terms of your wellness and your vitality, but are very difficult to ordinarily enhance or stimulate. But this device is amazing how it can stimulate this, and certainly in very short order, and we're going to talk about that.
I also want to just jump in and say on that point, John, which is a really good point. When you have some sort of issue going on in the body, you might want to perceive it as some organ or system in chaos energetically. You know, you could have had a stressful week, and that stress energy is impacting certain systems in your body. So you want to see it as some level of energy disturbance or some chaotic energy that's going on, however you want to see it, where the energy is not flowing properly. And the wand has the ability to restore that coherence to those areas. So lets the energy flow and move freely as it should.
Right. So one of the questions that you posed to me earlier that comes up regularly is, what can't we use this on in our bodies? Which could be implants, pacemakers, cataract lenses. So I'm going to bring up a quick slide, and we'll address that here.
Okay.
So the company Prife recommends that if a woman is pregnant, if you have a stent in your heart, if you have something implanted in your body, particularly metal, or something in your eyes, and that you see here, it's referring to the fact that you shouldn't blow on those directly. So, in fact, I just had a fellow ask me about that about an hour ago. He had a pacemaker, and he wondered if he could still use this. And I said, yeah, just don't blow directly on your pacemaker. You can work all through your body. You can drink the charged water. And you just don't want to be focusing on particularly metal in your body where you're going to be heating it up. Actually, one of the wonderful properties of terahertz is that it doesn't pass through metal. And that's why the governments around the world are so interested in terahertz gap frequencies, because they use them in airports and so forth, and they can detect metal, that might be trying to be passed through airports and scanners and so forth. But in our bodies, they won't pass through the metal, so you don't want to be pointing and focused on some metal implant and heating it up. So you can just keep it moving all around your body, keep it circulating the directions.
Yes. And just to add to that, you can just wand, in areas close by, but not directly on that area. I mean, I have an implant, I have a titanium implant, so you can just wand around it. And remember, because we're also learning more about the TCM model, how these acupuncture points are related. If you wand your ear, if you wand your hand, if you wand your feet, you're actually working on the heart or the eyes or whatever it is that you want to address. So there are many ways to support those systems energetically.
Yeah, I want to get back to my. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I lost my screen. I've got 3 monitors here and I lost track of where it was.
I'm still here.
We're still here. Okay, so what's our
So
next?
let's go to the basic protocol, and then we'll talk about all the variations on a theme.
Okay. So again, I'm going to go back to a quick slide because I think they're fun. Just share my screen. So the iTeraCare is very easy to use. If this kid can do it, you can do it. She's having a great time. I love this picture.
It's adorable.
Right? And people all the time call me up and they say, "How do I do my feet?" I show them this video. Okay, so let's talk about basic protocols. This vagus nerve stimulation is super, super important. And go Google vagus nerve stimulation and read up why it's important. I'm going to read to you. If you're, and the vagus nerves connect the brain with all of your organs. Okay, there's a communication there. And if there's some blockages in that system, all sorts of things can be out of balance in your body. They can cause aggression, anxiety, brain fog, inflammation, delayed stomach emptying, depression. This is all from the internet. Difficulty in swallowing, dizziness, fainting, fatigue, heart rate, heartburn, weight gain. People are going, "Hey, I got that. All right. This could be potentially caused because your vagus nerve is not communicating properly with all your organs. And if left unstimulated and this goes on, it can cause alcohol addiction, autism, bulimia, cancer, chronic heart failure, fibromyalgia, heart disease, leaky gut syndrome. These are all things that people are always asking about, right? Mood disorders, obesity, poor blood circulation, tinnitus. It's very important that you've got good communication in vagus nerves. And this iTeraCare, the magic wand, okay, can stimulate these vagus nerves in minutes.
Yeah. Can I add one other thing to that too,
Sure.
John, which is why it's so important? There's so much interest right now in the vagus nerve. There's lots of research going on. Practitioners are talking about the importance of the vagus nerve. You know, humming can stimulate the vagus nerve. There are lots of things that can stimulate the vagus nerve, including the one. So it has all those effects. You know, if you're dealing with any level of inflammation, the vagus nerve needs to be stimulated because the vagus nerve calms the system down. It's what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, right? So when you are in stress, you're stimulating your sympathetic nervous system. And when you're in a sympathetic nervous system, first of all, your breathing is really shallow and tight, but the energy that's going on in the body is one of survival, and it shuts down the cell's ability to function. It's like everything goes offline, just survival is going on there. And when you stimulate the parasympathetic, just on the side of the neck, that's where you can access it, right here behind the ear. You are giving a message to the body to relax, to put yourself in a receptive place where the cells can fully function, so the systems can fully function, so the body can heal and repair. You cannot heal and repair if you're in a stressful state or a sympathetic state. So, you know, that benefit happens within minutes when you wand. All of a sudden you feel yourself relaxing. That's why you can get a good night's sleep. You're back into parasympathetic. You're back into a relaxed state. And that lets you think more clearly. It lets healing happen. You can have deeper rest and sleep. It's the place we want to be operating in a lot of the time. So simple. Just do that. Just, wand right here behind your ear, behind your carotid artery is where, that whole area is wand.
Yeah, both sides. And so most distributors around the world, if they're asked what the basic things I should do, they right away go to our 10-minute chart. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But that's actually not the most basic thing. What I'm going to share with everybody here is really 3 basic things that you got to find 5-10 minutes for every day, at least. All right. And everybody could, because this is like super important. Now, one of these is, of course, charging your water. If you can't do anything at all other than that, you need to spend about 30 seconds to a minute, if that even, charge up a glass of water, and at least drink some of this all during a day. And we're discovering that if you charge up your water, okay, and you pour this into some other water, that water will charge up the new water. You could literally take a thermos, to work with charged water in it. And when it gets down to about a third, pour more water in there, filtered water, whatever you're using, and it'll charge up the rest of the water. And you can go all day and have that charge. You don't even need to have your iTeraCare in your office. There's nobody in the world talking about that, and I think that's fantastic discovery. Okay.
I want to say, when I saw some of the videos that you did with that was an aha moment for me, because water maintains memory. So if you're putting in a structured water, a frequency into the water, that memory of that frequency is then going to immediately be transferred, which you demonstrated. I mean, you have the devices that show you. So it's not just a theory, we saw it.
Yeah,
which is great, because a little bit can then go a long way.
That's
with
right.
all sorts of things.
It's showing how powerful the terahertz, how powerful the iTeraCare's results are. It charges up this water way faster than we realize, and it retains that, and it will charge up other water. So at the very least, now it's wonderful to realize you could take a thermos to water to work and be drinking charged water all day long there. And we want to be drinking that charged water because it's changing the structure of the atoms and the molecules into a linear fashion, so the cells absorb them, and makes everything in your body more bioavailable. Okay, the nutrition, and the cells just love it, and it tastes different, and your body will crave this new terahertz water, and you just think, well, I can't get enough of this. It tastes wonderful. It's the most wonderful tasting water you've ever had, but it also retains that energetic charge, that information you talked about, and that's flowing through your body. But you want to use the warmer water if possible, especially after a therapeutic session, because you want to maintain the heat that you've stirred up in your body for as long as possible. Because when you're shining this on your body, the terahertz, the TH gap, those frequencies vibrate with all our cells and create heat within the body, and that heat is the self-healing thing that goes on there, and will also knock off stuff that should be in your body that can't stand that heat, like viruses and things like that. But you want to maintain that as long as possible, because it's increasing your metabolism. It's getting rid of things that are in your systems. It's increasing your circulation. So you don't want to necessarily cut that off right off as soon as you jump out into an air conditioned situation or a shower. But if that's your lifestyle or that's what's going on in your day, then do it. I don't always drink 2 glasses of water and try to stay warm for 4 hours. I don't have the time, so I do what I can. But the very basics every single day is you want to be drinking the charged water and stimulating your vagus nerves. Okay, nobody's been talking to you about this, but that's like super important. Go read up on vagus nerve stimulation, and you're going to realize everybody's going to start doing this for a couple of minutes on each side, realizing how important and how impactful that is. But the other third most basic protocol is charge up the water doing the vagus nerves real quick, all right? But realize that our bodies are 70 to 80% water. And it's hard to get your head into that, right? But scientists are talking about that. We're basically 70 to 80% water. Now, if this can charge up water and charge up some more water in a thermos, what do you think's going on in your body when you're charging up yourself? You're not just charging up your skin. Oh, I feel nice. That feels good, right? That's going through your body. And these are twofers and threefers. You're charging up your brain and clearing out brain fog and increasing your memory and your eyesight. And you're going, oh boy, my skin looks good. But the reality is, pay attention, you're getting a lot of other things going on here. But you're charging up the water very quickly, all in your body, right? So that's the third most basic protocol, is do your body, energize your whole body. At first, don't worry about where you're pointing it, what direction, and acupuncture point. Just do your whole body. Energize your whole body. All right?
And if I could just add to that, that's so important. One thing I just want to share with people, in traditional Chinese medicine, they always say, do not drink cold drinks. So according to the system, you don't want your cold drinks out of the fridge. Why? Because it shuts down your digestive system. So cold will adversely affect your body's ability to absorb and assimilate everything. So that's why room temperature, that's why they say in a lot of the material, it should be room temperature, a little warm. And as a result of studying Chinese medicine, by the way, I don't ever do anything cold out of the fridge because it really makes your digestive system stressed and it's a struggle. So just a good health point for those that are willing to, try that. And the other thing about those structured water, this is something I've studied for like 20 years, the structured water. There are two scientists that won a Nobel Prize for the ability to structure water and discovering that there are channels in your cells that are just one molecule wide for the water to go through. So they can't go through in little cluster forms. They have to go through in single file. And this device alters the structure so you can super hydrate inside your cells. So cells have to be properly hydrated for all the functions to occur. And there are literally millions of functions that go on per second in a cell. It all depends on hydration. So the normal water we're drinking doesn't efficiently get into the cell. And that's why the number one thing when I'm working with patients, I've got to get them hydrated, because if they're not hydrated, their cells can't communicate, they can't respond, they can't have the energy to function, and they can't get well. And most people, the tendency is as we get older is to get more and more dehydrated. So this hydration thing is so important, which is why so many people are reporting that just by drinking this charged water, which structures the molecules to be able to flow in that pattern of linear alignment, is so profound for people. Just drinking the water, people are getting amazing results. And it's really essential to stay hydrated. And you can have all sorts of waters in, filtered water. Always, you'd never want to drink out of the tap, but people have all sorts of other things that they do to their water, which is great, but it doesn't structure the water. So when you add the structure component to all the other ways that people are enhancing their water, you get something really powerful for healing.
As you're saying all that, I was just thinking too that we also say that you can charge other things, like whether it's juice, soup. Even people are always asking, can I charge my food? And we're always going, yeah, hey, but next week I'm going to be doing experiments with that, with food, and looking at how much, if they're putting out, how much energy they're putting out, and then charging whatever it is. My Coca-Cola. No, I don't drink Coca-Cola, but
well, fruits and vegetables are 90% water, so it makes sense if you charge them, you're going to be enhancing the benefit from those fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually show evidence on videos of the increase of energy of food, various types of food and whatever. That's gonna be a fun video to produce. So the basics: Charge your water, drink up as much of that as you can during the day, because it's super hydrating and charging and energize your body. And all of that you can do the vagus nerves and just energize your whole body in about 5 minutes, 5, 10 minutes. If that's the only thing you can do is just energize your whole body and drink some charged water. Now, maybe that's a session early in the morning, that you do for 5, 10 minutes. If you have a specific area of discomfort, acute discomfort, like I said, I had a toothache area or maybe some area. In general, we've found with experiments around the world that about 15 minutes of focused attention on an area is very, very beneficial. So you want to do the general energization of your body and the water and stimulating the vagus nerves. But if you've got some area that really hurts, right, you want to spend about 15 minutes in that area. Now, we're going to be talking later in more intermediate and advanced protocols where direction does matter then, because in Chinese medicine, counterclockwise unblocks energy and clockwise energizes. Our chakras run in clockwise directions. And there's all sorts of interesting meridian things you can do. And that's very intermediate and more advanced. Basically, energize your whole body, drink the charged water, do your vagus nerves, and then spend about 15 minutes on a specific area that you have some issue with. And try different things. So if let's say I have a discomfort in my shoulder, but also, like, as you were saying earlier, research what that could be correlated to. Do some research on Google and on acupuncture and whatever. That could be a symptom of something else, and you need to know about that. But at the very least, if you want to work with that, do different types of movements. Move it pointed. Some people say don't point it, hold it there, but don't burn yourself, but just hold it there get some deep penetration. Move it back and forth. Move it up and down. Okay, move circulate motions, and then one type of movement that I know nobody talks about, but is very powerful. So I want everybody to experiment with this. Is a pulse movement. All right. So if you're working here, pulse it in and out like that. Try this after this call, and you're going to go, whoa, that feels interesting. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting effect on your energy. So spend about 15 minutes on a specific and acute area, and then the company says don't spend more than 2 hours all day, during the day on these types of things. But you can get tremendous amounts of results in very short order because the body responds dramatically with the terahertz and the quantum scalar aspects of what this thing produces. The other little quick chart, let me just look at that real quick. Just your sponsor should have this available for you, or any of our Facebook groups. And this is what everybody refers to as the basic 15-20 minute protocol. But my opinion is what I just talked about: the vagus nerves, energizing your whole body, and is actually more basic even than this. As in maybe an afternoon session, spend 15-20 minutes here where you're doing your palms, because there's fantastic acupuncture points on there on the soles of your feet, behind your knees, your groin, your armpit, lymphatic area, upper back, head, butt, blowing downwards down your spine. All of this can take 15-20 minutes, and this is a great protocol. And then even a little more advanced is you can do your chakras, starting with your root chakra, move all the way up, spend a minute or two on each one. And then as Dr. Sherrill talked about earlier, start doing a little research on the reflexology acupuncture points on your hands. And if you determine you have something going on with your bladder or your kidney, you can point to that direction at that part of your body with your wand, but also do that area of your palms and your feet. And you'd be very surprised how fast this can affect the issue that you have. Feet, dramatic correlation between all these different areas and organs in your body. Even your ears. When you're wanding your head and you think you're working on your hair and your skin, you're stimulating, balancing, optimizing all these different areas of your body.
Yeah, it's like all a holograph, your hands are a holograph of your body, your feet, your ears. I mean, probably everything as we get into it, one part can represent the whole. So that's why doing your hands and your feet, even if it's just for a minute, is actually stimulating and supporting everything in your body, all the organs, all the systems get a little bit of a hit, right? So let me ask you a couple of questions, John. If someone was really busy, they don't have even 5 minutes, well, 1 minute, just wanding for 1 minute, will that help? Will that be beneficial?
Yeah, if I only had a minute, I would do the vagus nerves.
Mm-hmm.
I would just, if I was running out and I think, oh, I haven't done my iTeraCare and I don't have time today, I would at least do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many other issues that we have are caused by stress and so forth, like you talked about earlier. That has a fantastic impact on reducing your stress and increases serotonin in your body, so that's also part of the relaxation and so forth. And then that's empowering your body to self heal, because if the body's all stressed and feeling like it's needing to defend itself, it's not healing. It's defending itself or trying to escape, right? So you need to relax, and many people don't have time to pray or to meditate or to relax or to listen to my jokes. People just don't have time for that these days. So if you just have a quick minute or two, I would say that's actually super important there. And of course, trying to drink the water, charge water all day long. If you can't do anything else, people are having wonderful, wonderful vitality wellness experiences with water. There are machines that you can buy in the market that's all they do is charge terahertz water, but they cost $1,500. And they sit on top of a plastic jug, and you put this thing on there and you turn it on for 15, 20 minutes and it makes terahertz water. But go on the internet and look up terahertz water, and there's all kinds of testimonies of people from just drinking terahertz water. And we're laughing because we have a device for $380 in the US that makes fantastic terahertz water, right? So
can we also remind people it is not advised to use tap water, because one of the benefits of this alignment, we talked about single file alignment, so you can super hydrate intracellularly, is that it pulls in the nutrients easily, so you get more of the benefit of the key vitamins, minerals, what's going on in the outside the cell can get pulled in. But if you're using tap water as an example, which is filled with all sorts of toxins and particulate matter, you don't want those components going into your cell. You do not want pesticides and herbicides and toxins and chlorine and chloramines going into your cell. So if you don't have a water filter, you're not able to invest in even an expensive one like a Brita, then buy some filtered water. But please don't use tap water for drinking.
You bring up an interesting point too, that actually two things I want to bring up is, it's a fantastic thing to do is charge up your water and then pour it into a Seven Wonders bottle, right? That you can get from Price, right? So this is charged water now, and I will pour that in here, and in 5 minutes, that will make all sorts of wonderful 7 types of things, hydrogen and so forth. But you want to charge up your water first and then pour it in there and then drink that. Now you have that's actually 9 wonders. It's not just the 7 wonders, because you have terahertz charge in there and you have quantum scalar charging in there. And so when you charge your water, pour it in that and then drink that, now you have a 9 wonders water. That's the optimal water that you could with that situation. But the other thing I was just thinking, as you're saying, is most people that are talking about charging your water, and most of the demonstrations you see on YouTube or whatever, everybody's charging their water from the top, right? Various, they're all going like this, and they all have things hanging there from their cabinets and devices. I mean, I got all kinds of devices. I got this device here for charging my water. We have one of those in our kitchen. I think I have an iTeraCare in every room in the house and probably in my car because we don't want to be without this thing. So literally, my wife has one. She has a premium model. We have one in the kitchen for charging water. I have 4 here, and I've got about half a dozen boxes. We have 2 TeraBio. We had to get another one because she was hogging it, and she took it to her office now. She uses it on her clients, and these things are addictive for your.
Yes. Are you a little obsessive about your terahertz? You
I'm
think?
telling you, I'm a terroricized here. Now, here's what I'm saying though. This is my opinion. All right. What I do know, this is not my opinion. What I do know is that charging your water from the side is as effective as charging from the top. All right. Safer in a lot of ways. You could just prop this on a table. You don't even need a fancy stand. You just set and charge your water. And the water charges way faster than everybody's talking about. Everybody's saying 30 seconds a minute. Ricky Brandino and I charging water in 5 seconds and showing evidence that it's charged. That's another video though. Here's what I want to get at. I actually like charging from the side better because if you charge from the top, you're actually potentially infusing dust, pollen, all sorts of stuff that could be floating around. Have you ever seen what's floating around your air? Go look that up. You won't be charging from the top anymore, but you could be potentially infusing some of that into your water. And so I'm thinking, I'm not doing that because on a sunny day, look what's floating in your air there, dust and all kinds of junk, right? So preferably do it from the side, and if you think that has an effect. If you don't, disregard what I'm just saying.
And the other thing you just said, which I think is worth repeating, because a lot of people think they have to do it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so they have their stands and they, blow on their water for a long period of time. But the fact of the matter is, you demonstrated, which was, answering a lot of questions that people have in their minds about how long do you need to charge. Not long. Like you said, if you just do a couple of seconds, 5 seconds, it actually charges the water with that amount of time quickly. It's probably almost instantaneously. When it was one video that Ricky Brandano did where he just turned it on, turned it off, and checked it, and it was charged.
Yeah, I'm going to do videos next week of little shot glass of water and charge them, and then somebody asked me to do one with a little what are those things? I can't think what it's called.
A dropper thing?
Yeah, a little dropper of water and put it in there and see if that does it. I think my eyes are going to be really big on this because everybody's going, oh, it takes 30 seconds or a minute, whatever. But we're showing evidence that this thing is showing energy, and then here. And I have new equipment that I'm going to be using next week and demonstrating that will show it graphically on my computer the amount of energy that this thing is working with. So I'll be watching for those videos. But the point, but if you don't believe all that and you think I got to do 30 seconds or a minute, it's fine. You can't overcharge this stuff. Often I was using this in my kitchen. I'll come back 10, 15 minutes and I'll think, oh, I forgot to shut it off, and shut it off, but it's fine. But I think a lot of us are not realizing that this thing is way more powerfully effective than we realize.
Can I ask you another question that I get a lot? So some people, when you see testimonials of people, some people have phenomenal healings that happen within the first or second time or the first week or whatever. And some people are wandering for weeks, a month, and they don't really see any difference happening. How do you address those concerns and questions that people have?
That's because they're not on my team. No, I'm not joking with that. Okay, I better edit that out of the video. Because I have people on my team, same thing. They go, oh my God, I've used this for 2 minutes and look at this, whatever. Or I haven't been able to do this in 2 years, after 5 minutes. And then, like you say, somebody will be doing it and they say, I'm drinking the water, I'm working on myself 15 minutes, half an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 24 hours a day, you know, and I don't see. Now, a couple of things. Everybody's different. I don't know, and I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I don't have files on the person. I'm not making medical claims or recommendations. I don't know what their lifestyle's been. I don't know if they drink soft drinks and what kind of food they've been eating, and I don't know what their stress levels are, and I don't know how toxic their environment is. But let's say it's pretty good, you know. The other thing is sometimes these things take a while. They may be trying to work on something that took them years and years and years to develop, and it may take them a little while to unwind some things and unblock some things. And then sometimes they're trying to work on something, and that's not the cause of it, right? So if they're working on a frozen shoulder and they're working on this and they're not getting any results, that may be because of some other issue. And I'm not here to tell you what those are, but if you just look up, we're all connected. It's the hokey pokey. Everything's connected to everything, right? And and not only physically, okay, but then we move into a quantum area, okay, because we are a hologram. All of this is an illusion. All of this is just slowed down vibratory energy, what we think is matter. But if you raise the vibration in some way, now all of a sudden we realize that everything is energy, and our feelings can be affecting our physical body, our mind, our thoughts, our subconscious, our beliefs. A lot of different things can be causing situations going on with you. And the iTeraCare can actually address all of that because it has a quantum functionality, which enhances your natural ability of your intention and so forth. And that's something we wanted to address about positive thoughts and affirmations and so forth. Even just in general, you'd want to do that. Even if this didn't have that, you'd want to do that because it's proven scientifically, the placebo effect, that our brain, our thoughts can affect ourselves physically. It's shown that the person didn't take the medicine or the whatever, and just by thinking they were going to heal themselves or seeing it, all of a sudden they were healed. And so their brain affected that. And when you get into the area of the quantum nature of things, you start realizing that so much in our world, so much in our body, so much everything's going on. We're the root cause of some of this stuff is the law of attraction. So many of us are just jumping on in some area of discomfort, and so somebody will say, "But this is not working. It's not working," and then they go, "And I know I'm sleeping better. I don't go to the bathroom 6 times a night anymore. My libido's increased. I have great energy. My hair has turned black. I've lost 30 pounds weight, but it's not working. I can't fix this." So I'm thinking, open up.
So you touched on a couple of really good points, and we in our previous video we talked about the quantum scalar technology that is very much working in the energy field on the quantum, where your thoughts and intentions play a major role in how they impact the body. So it's always important, as you said in that video, to have the highest thoughts. If you're wanting yourself rather than just watching some intense violent Western on television or something, take a moment and just say, "I'm whole and heal," or "Thank you, I have gratitude, I love my body," whatever it is, whatever you like, or play a nice healing, relaxing song. It will enhance the field of healing that you're creating.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that you were saying, which is also important, is like the intelligence of your body knows how and what order the priority of healing. So our mind says it should be like this, and it should be like this, and it should be this fast and in this order. But we have to surrender to this greater intelligence that knows how to heal, in what order, in what timing. And that frequency that you're addressing from your terahertz wand is, as it said, the frequency of light, the frequency of God. It's uplifting the frequency of your entire being. So the thing is, just knowing you're being healed, see yourself already healed, and continue wanding, and don't sit there and question and say, is it, isn't it, or it's not. It is, but the intelligence of your body has the proper timing of what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. And you just got to get that critical mind out of the way. So that's what I've learned along the way. And just know it's always working, right? It's always
great points. Yeah. You know, in a few weeks, I'm going to be starting up Zoom calls on the quantum scalar, and we already have hundreds of people that are signing up for this, because we're on a regular basis, certainly every month, but maybe a lot more than that. We'll be discussing how to really frame your affirmations, how to really work with this on a holistic basis, not just for your body, because it's all connected. It's the hokey pokey, right? It's all connected, everything. And
how do people find that? John, give them tell people where to go.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we'll be announcing it on my YouTube site, but if you go to some of the Facebook groups, the Magic Wand is a good one. We'll be announcing it there. And
that's the name of the Facebook group, the Magic Wand.
Yeah.
Okay, has to be.
You want to get in on it if you're interested in this. You want to get in on this, because one of the really amazing things we're going to do is participate in wanding each other over the Zoom. Okay, so imagine 300 or 400 or 500 people here, and we'll pick a topic, and it may be weight loss, libido, health, just in general, and we're all going to wand each other over the Zoom. All right, so just imagine you're on this thing, and 400, 500 people are wanding you remotely and sending you love, sending you positive affirmations, you know, of beauty, whatever it is. And the thing that Prife International does at their conventions all around the world is they always have all the people in the group, and they all get up there and they go, healthy, beauty, wealthy, right? So we're going to start out these things, because that's what we're about. We're all about health, beauty, and most of us don't mind being a little wealthier. But we're going to be doing these Zoom calls, and we're going to be sharing that power, that we're all connected there. And so we're all going to be, we're all going to be wanting each other remotely here, but we're all going to be using that power, that enhanced intention, right? And amazing things are going to come out of that. So
okay, so the Magic Wand asked to be invited to the Magic Wand.
Yeah,
to learn more.
So get in on that group, and then we'll be announcing that. I'm going to be within the next few days. I'm going to announce this, and we'll start it up. And
your YouTube channel again is?
Just look up my name, John Scevola, Scevola on YouTube.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if we're going to record that or not, because it's it would be the same thing. We may, because there'd be some interesting topics, but the actual interactive part that I was just describing,
yeah, that's
you wouldn't get that effect if you would have to be there, because it's going to be a live,
or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Who knows?
I just want to kind of add this. I know we're kind of winding things up, but what you're doing, John, and with Ricky Brandino too, you're taking this technology to much greater possibilities than we initially thought. And the potential is huge. And as we're learning, just with wanting the water, just doing it for a second or transferring, it begins to see that there is so much more that's possible when you're working with frequencies, working with energy, working with the quantum field, the scalar frequency, that has no limit of time and space. And you're really giving us all these tools and a greater awareness of just how powerful this technology is, and really how grateful we are that we have this technology, and we have people like you that are pioneering and sharing all the different ways that we actually can benefit from using our wand. So, thank you for all the great work you're doing, and for expanding our horizons and expanding our minds and expanding our energy field as well.
Exciting times, yeah.
So I guess that's it, huh? We've covered a lot of territory today. And I think we addressed the major questions people have and concerns. And remember, just keep getting hydrated, keep wanting your water, keep drinking it for yourself, your animals, your plants. And remember, you can just take 1 cup and put it into your watering can, which is what I do when you're giving your plants
I'm going to
terahertz.
give you one last tip before we go, because it ties in with the things that we're trying to avoid in our body, right? So you have a pacemaker, you got some metal. This is a quantum tip. Take a picture. This happened to me a couple days ago. A woman asked me, well, I have metal in my mouth, and I shouldn't avoid that. I said, take a picture of your mouth, and then wand the picture, and be thinking, using your attention because it's enhanced to the quantum functionality here. Be thinking, my mouth feels great. Oh, my mouth is wonderful.
Totally healed and whole.
But do the picture, right? Take a picture. Take a picture of yourself there and wand it, or someone else. You have their permission.
Yeah.
But this works with what's called quantum entanglement, quantum connection, and it's instant. All right. But you want to be doing the same thing when you're doing your body. So if you're working with your organ, whatever, you want to be having that in your tension affirmatively that already exists. My shoulder feels fantastic. Oh, my shoulder feels fantastic. My shoulder feels fantastic. But you can also do that remotely for yourself even. Just take a picture of your mouth, your chest, whatever it is, and then wand the picture. Now that's working from a quantum standpoint from inside out, and is not a contraindication now. So that's a.
Have you
that's a
seen
huge
results? Did you see results doing that? Has it been demonstrated that the person with the
Oh
metal-
yeah. I got people that are my quantumites. They're going, oh my gosh, I'm sending
That's
it
great.
my friend in New Jersey, and she goes, I instantly feel it. Or even an animal. You take a picture of the animal and you do it, and the animal perks up and says, whoa, what's going on here, right? This
Yeah.
is exciting times. We're realizing that there's way more to life, that there's a lot more magic going on than we realize. This is a Harry Potter moment right here.
There is no time and space separates us.
So, okay.
Well, beautiful. That's a great inspirational message to end our conversation with. So thank you, John, for your time today, for all the great pioneering work you're doing, and your generosity in sharing it with all of us.
And we have another session coming up, number 5. And guess what that's going to be on? This quantum stuff. Right?
Yeah, we have some exciting things to be sharing
Yeah.
with you.
So
Yes.
you want to be.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
I'll tell you
Come
more.
back.
That's the teaser. Okay,
All
good night.
righty. Well, until next time, have a great day and keep wanding and keep drinking your beautiful water.
Thank you.
Bye.